Welcome back to Cosmosis or whatever. I don't know why I felt like I need to sing that today. Well, actually, it kind of relates to the topic we're talking about today. This is actually going to be episode number 2. I guess you would call them episodes, right? Episode number 2 in my Spirit Speak series. If you didn't listen to the first one, definitely go listen to it. But Spirit Speak series is a little mini series within my podcast that I have started. The whole goal of the series is to capture the little moments that I personally have in my day where my spirits are speaking to me. There are so many different ways that your spirit guides, the universe kind of speaks to you. And a lot of people are having those types of experiences and don't even realize that they are messages or confirmations. So by sharing my different experiences that I have with my spirit guides, giving me little confirmations or little things that happen throughout my day, I am hoping that I will also kind of open your eyes to understand the many, many different ways that your spirit guides have already been speaking to you, and to kind of keep your eyes, ears, heart, third eye, everything open to receiving all of that in the future. Okay, so I'm really excited about this. It's been a little while. If you guys are listening to this fresh when I release it, it's been a little bit of time since I have posted my last episode. I'm really, really trying to work on consistency with the podcast, and I'm trying to also give myself grace, and trying to remind myself that consistency might look different for different people. It might look different on different days. So giving myself grace with that. I do think that this little mini series will help me to be a little bit more consistent, so I don't feel the pressure of having to make sure that I have like an outline and stuff like that. So I'm going to get into it right after this ad. If you are a supporter of this podcast, it really helps for you to listen to the ads. It gives me the resources to continue the podcast. So go ahead, listen to this ad, and we'll be right back with what happened when my inner child was speaking to me. Okay, thank you for listening to that. That wasn't too bad, right? It's pretty quick. If you listen, pro tip, if you listen to Spotify on 1.2 times, I don't know if you like listening to it like that, but it speeds things up. So if you are like low on time, or maybe if the person that you're listening to is talking too slow, go down to the little, if you're listening on Spotify, of course, go down, list the little, what am I even talking about? Go down to the little option where it shows the speed, and you can go down to up to, I think, like 2 times the speed. I like 1.2 personally. It speeds it up just enough. But anyway, let's get on to the story. So this is something that happened maybe about a week ago, actually, and I wanted to talk about it then, but hey, here we are now. So I've been traveling a lot. Part of the reason that I haven't been posting so much on TikTok and all my socials, but I had a situation where I ended up crying. And it's been a while since I've had a situation that really made me cry. I won't get into too many of the details about the situation that made me cry, but like it was somebody else who was involved in like my crying, right? My feelings were hurt. And I definitely knew in that moment that my inner child was my inner child crying. You know, her feelings were very hurt. She felt very reprimanded. And so the sign that I got was really a sign for me to, because I kind of already knew. And a lot of times with stuff like this, we do kind of already know. But the way that if you're paying attention, spirit really will show you different ways, different signs and confirmations. So my confirmation was a couple days after the initial crying incident. I'm one of those people that once I start crying, I just keep crying, especially if I don't feel resolved or whatever. Like, I just kind of need to let it out. I actually try to cry once a month at least, just because I think it's good for my system. I used to be that person who never wanted to cry, especially not in front of people. Like, I would fight somebody before they saw me cry. Like, I would like run away. But now I've gotten a lot more comfortable with it. And I kind of understand now that crying is okay. Crying is healthy. Crying is necessary. And it's nothing to be ashamed of, that I should be able to give myself that space. So I did do that. I gave myself the space. But a couple days later, I was laying in my bed. I was playing a game, which is probably also soothing my inner child. But I was playing a game and I started singing. Oh, dang, I don't even know what song it was. It was like, I don't know that any of you guys will recognize this, because I feel like this is just like a very core memory for me. And you know, when you have those core memories and like nobody else gets what you're saying, it's just you. But I started singing this song and it's like, purple mountains, majesty, blue, blue, blue sky, yada, yada. And it like sings all your colors. And it talks about the different colors of things. Very juvenile song, right? A song, an inner child type of song. I wasn't thinking that when I was singing it. It just randomly popped up. It would not have been something that I heard somewhere, or even if it was stuck in my head and I just kept singing it. And my girlfriend was like, what song? Like, what is that? What are you? And I was like, oh, you never heard that song before? And I was like, well, I didn't even realize I was singing it, for one. But I was like, you've never heard that song? So I looked it up online. I was like, there's a reason that I'm singing this. So I typed in the lyrics so I could find it. And it was from like, I think it was from like Nick Jr. It was like the Rainbow song from Nick Jr. or something. I haven't watched Nick Jr. obviously since I was a child. So it was really, really crazy to see that. And in that moment, I kind of saw myself watching that the song, kind of like the little music video that they had on Nick Jr. And I felt and knew in that moment that that was my inner child trying to soothe herself, right? Or even just popping out and knowing from that point that she needed my attention. It is really crazy. And so, yeah, I've just been singing, and like a lot of things have been popping up for me that have confirmed, like, yeah, I'm needing to do some inner child work. She really needs my help. She needs some soothing. There are a bunch of different ways that that can happen. I do want to do a separate podcast episode on that, talking about how, the different ways to know that your inner child is popping up, because your inner child has probably been like screaming at you or crying for you, just really needing your attention, and you may not even realize it. But a couple just off the top of my head, definitely singing songs, really wanting to watch movies. If any of you guys are like Disney freaks like me, or maybe there's just like certain shows that you always watch, that you watched from when you were little, that is usually a really good sign that your inner child needs some attention, whether that just be to relax or maybe there's something deeper to it, especially depending on the movie and what that signified for you. If you connected with a specific character in a song or a movie, especially as a child, pay attention to when you feel like watching those movies or listening to those songs again. Now that I'm even thinking about it, this is funny because I literally just translated this message, this little moment, even more for myself, because the song is literally about the colors of the rainbow. And I associate rainbows in that way with chakra balance. So I feel like that was my little self being like, hey, we need to rebalance our chakras. That's crazy. I just realized that. And that happened like a week or two ago. So see, things like that, it really just takes paying attention. Sometimes it takes a little bit of problem solving, a little bit of puzzle building type of things. And it's going to be different for different people. I don't want you guys to think that because you're hearing this story, that's exactly how it needs to work for you. If you heard a song about rainbows, it might mean something completely different. Maybe you had a grandmother who you always chased rainbows with. I used to chase rainbows with my dad when I was little, and that might also have something to do with it now that I'm thinking about it. But maybe if you chased rainbows with your grandmother and she passed away, that could be her way of reaching out to you. That kind of thing. So again, Spirit Speaks series is definitely a way for you guys to open up your eyes, see really, really cool ways that your spirit guides are speaking to you. I personally, sorry if I'm breathing hard. I'm actually walking around the house. Nobody's in here. My girlfriend went to go run an errand. And so I'm walking around the house and I feel like I probably have been breathing hard or talking fast this whole episode. It's because I'm walking around and I don't usually do that. I'm trying to get a lot better about not being so formal in my podcast, because I think I have to be so formal in a lot of other places. And I really want my content to be authentic. And I worry about people getting irritated with me breathing a certain way or whatever. And I thought about it and I'm let me just be nice to myself and give myself grace. And I know that the people who support me, you guys support me being my authentic self. So, and I appreciate that, by the way. Anyways, yeah, so hopefully this was helpful for you guys. I want to know if you guys have had experiences like this. If you're on Spotify, you can leave comments on the episode, or if you guys want to ask questions or stuff like that, there's a little question box if you swipe over. So I would love to hear from you guys. If you haven't rated the podcast and you're listening, go rate it right now. Be honest. We're at a 5-star rating right now, which is crazy. And I'm super, super grateful. But be on the lookout for more podcast episodes talking about more of this stuff. Also on my Lemon8, there's a new app by TikTok. It's called Lemon8. And I got on it and it's so cute. It's kind of like a mixture between Pinterest and Canva and Instagram. It's mostly still pictures, which I think is refreshing because there's just videos everywhere and it can get overstimulating. But it has little templates and stuff built in. It's really, really cute. I made a profile. Go follow me, Celia Marie 1243. And on that, actually today I just posted some of the podcast episodes that I'm hoping to do in the future. Is kind of like a brain dump. I really want to use that new platform as just kind of a way for me to branch out and not just have to do spiritual content. I'll definitely do spiritual content because that's just who I am at this point. But if you guys want to see more about my random thoughts and in this case, podcast episodes that are coming up in the future, definitely go follow me. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Okay, bye. Thanks for listening.